Hey there guys, welcome to my movie vlog. My name's John Campea and this is my quick review of the brand new James and Dave Franco film, The Disaster Artist. As most of you know, the film is based on what is widely regarded as the most awesomely horrible movie ever made in cinematic history, The Room. And you'd think on its surface that any real-life telling of the making of The Room would just be the purpose of making fun of the guys who made it. But this movie is very hilarious, but also oddly inspiring. No need to bury the lead, I'm going to tell you guys right up front, I love this movie. This movie is so incredible. Like I said, it's surprisingly inspiring. It's predictably hilarious, and it's got a lot more heart to it than you might think on its surface. The movie simply follows Tommy and Greg, who meet in a drama class while living in the San Francisco area. They decide that they're going to pursue their dream, move down to Los Angeles, and when realizing they weren't getting anywhere, they decided to take matters into their own hands and make their own film, and the result was The Room. And I think we all knew the movie was going to be funny. We were predicting it would be funny, but like I mentioned at the outset, the surprising thing to this is how inspiring and how much heart the movie actually has. Because as easy as it would have been for any filmmaker to come in and just do a 2-hour movie making fun of Tommy Wiseau and this horrible movie that he made, you start to understand right away what it was Greg saw in Tommy Wiseau when they became friends in San Francisco. There's a fearlessness about Tommy Wiseau who's willing to pursue his dreams and his goals and be absolutely relentless in it. And as Greg is sitting in their drama class watching Tommy, who is horrible at acting, but being completely fearless, willing to put it all out there, he finds himself oddly attracted to him as a friend. And you realize as an audience member sitting in the theater, this guy is awesome. And it's really from that perspective that James Franco, as the director of the film, decides to tell this story. Yes, he puts all the absurdity of Tommy Wiseau on the screen and all the ridiculous antics that went into making The Room and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely, that's all there. But he always tells the story from the human perspective of this guy, Tommy. Understanding this is a guy like a lot of other people in LA and around the world who just has a dream, except the difference between him and most people is that he's willing to actually pursue his dream and do things for it. And I'm sitting there in the audience realizing when the movie ends, you know what? This guy, Tommy, pursued his dream and his goal, and it didn't take him to where he thought he was going to go, but as a result of him taking a risk and taking a chance and pursuing his dream, he's world famous. He's like at Comic-Cons all over the world. People clamor for his autograph. People still line up for midnight screenings of his movie, all because this guy was fearless and was willing to take a risk. And the Disaster Artist also doesn't sugarcoat things. I mean, sometimes Tommy was a total jerk. Sometimes Tommy and Greg butted heads. And the film does go into all of that, but all it really does is serve the more human aspect of the story even more. All the supporting cast is just fantastic, whether you're talking about Seth Rogen, Paul Scheer, both of whom you see in the trailers, and they're absolutely spectacular. And there's a whole hell of a lot of surprise celebrity cameos along the way, none of which I'll spoil right now. But the funny thing about these cameos is they're not just cameos for the sake of cameos, they're cameos that actually fill parts in the movie that is necessary, and it's really quite smart on that level. But to sum up The Disaster Artist, it really is that. What could have been just a farce look at a guy who made a fool out of himself, it instead is a really human story that looks at a guy who is willing to take a risk with unexpected results and a friendship that formed as a result of that. And now we're sitting here in theaters watching this, and this movie is absolutely entertaining, absolutely hilarious, and absolutely has some deeper meaning too. It's everything you would have possibly hoped from this movie. So yes, I absolutely recommend that you rush out and see The Disaster Artist the moment it's playing in a theater near you. The most important thing here, guys, is what do you think of The Disaster Artist? Have you had a chance to see the film? If not, have you seen The Room, and what are your expectations going into this movie? Jump into the comments section below and leave me your thoughts. Listen, guys, while you're here, click that subscribe button. We just crossed 100,000 subscribers. Why don't you join us and come along for the ride? Click the thumbs up button. Like I said, leave your thoughts below. Follow me on social media, simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me, and until the next video, bye-bye.